Deeper in the catacombs. Right, let's go.
Pathetic.
Private chamber. The Right Honorable members of the Gwent Friendship Society of Beauclair. This is it.
Better to die of drink than of boredom.
You gents also looking for that Gwent club?
What the poking devils? Who are you? Who sent you?
So many questions, so few answers.
Blimey, we're the plumbing philosopher. Get the smarmy cat diddler, lads.
If I only had a crown for every time a bunch like this. Damn it. That ought to do. Right. High time Margot paid up.
Now I shall sink you a song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah! Absolute dunderary, absolute.
inscriptions in Elder speech. Damn,
Salvation
Professor's
lies
trial's
long
long lived,
gone,
but in our hearts,
somebody else found out about it
Glory
too.
be to
I should look
Elder.
around.
See if I can find something else. Footprints, narrow and shallow. Somebody small, light. Woman, maybe? Wonder where they lead. Damn it, trail breaks off. Wonder if the grave robber learned more than I did. Professor certainly can't do much to help me with my search. Won't learn anything else here. Map Yen sent me I'll have to do. Also, Epitaph mentioned both Ellerin and Dolnevde, Valley of the Nine. Site marked on the map's all wet now. Sans Retour flows through there. Must be where the Valley of the Nine is. Need to explore the location.
Come on.
Come on, Roach.
Oi!
You, hey, with the blades on your back. Help
Run,
us.
Roach.
No monsters all about.
Gotta blow this up if I want to get rid of the Endriggers. Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet. Harper must have found something in Moreau's tomb to activate the entry portal. Wonder what surprises this place has in store. Implanted spikes. Sick sense of humor someone's got. Seems someone besides me might be ferreting around here. Someone slim. No way I can sling through there. Need to find a way around. Blood-soaked. Grave robber was wounded while attempting the climb. Needed to bandage up. Managed to avoid the Panthers at least. Blood-soaked. Grave robber was wounded while attempting the climb. Needed to bandage up. Managed to avoid the Panthers at least. Let's do this. Whoever was here must have scaled that wall, evaded the Panthers. Course. Locked. Notes I found mention 4 protruding stones. Gotta press them somehow. Crossbow, maybe? Could try to hit them. Not bad. Wouldn't mind having something like that myself. Not bad. Wouldn't mind having something like that myself. Course. Locked. Notes I found mention 4 protruding stones. Gotta press them somehow. Crossbow maybe? Not bad. Could try to hit mind having something like that myself. Did it. Interesting as places go. Seems someone put a lot of thought into its design. Should look around. Gargoyles sure don't look willing to help.
Unwanted guest! Intruder! You are not welcome.
Yeah, figured as much. this just keeps getting better. Damn it, back where I started. Damn it, back where I started. Could be some clue around here. Alright, now to find the next portal. Right, now to find the next portal. Damn it, back where I started. Right, now to find the next portal. Must be where Moreau had his lab. Crystals. Should mount them in the megascope. Missing 2 crystals. Quite the library. Mostly tomes on mutations and genetics. preserved organs. Hope their donors weren't forced to give them up. Intriguing as machinery goes, but how do I start it up? Guessing this man didn't come here willingly. This crystal must go here. All crystals in place. Show me what you got. Just need to pick an entry.
Observation 58. Sometimes failure is the catalyst for success. I've discovered a method by which one type of mutagen may be transmuted into another through the addition of certain ingredients. This is a great day for science. In addition, I observed that today's dose of mutagens brought the subject to the brink of death. He then suddenly awoke, revived, his strength renewed. Not wholly, of course, but he did in a sense come back from the edge of death. Whether this is attributable to his mutations or to pure coincidence cannot be ascertained. I must conduct further experiments. Observation 22. Despite applying a surfeit of toxic substances, significantly more than usual, the subject displayed no symptoms of overdosing. I believe this to be an effect of the mutations. Thus, a minor success. This mutation should allow Jerome better to tolerate toxicity. Years of experiments, research, sacrifice, all for naught. I have failed to achieve my defined objective. Each mutation I applied to my subjects proved ineffective when applied to Jerome. What I meant to cure him of his witcherism, that which I meant to restore to him a normal life, only deepened his mutations, further augmented his speed and strength, rendered him yet more inhuman. It seems my son must remain a witcher forever. I have failed. The time has come to abandon this place. Return home to Lydia. She may yet deign to take me back. The contraption and mutagens I leave here, let them wither and crumble, as did my dreams of regaining my son.
So the professor wanted to reverse the mutation's effects. Ended up deepening them. Stroke of luck for me. Could profit from his failure.
The 18th of Yule, year 1102. Today I begin my great life's endeavor, one greater and more significant than any I have thus far undertaken, for it relates to me personally, to myself and my son. When 15 years passed, a beast of the forest assaulted me. A witcher came to... Had I the skill to turn back time, I would have done so, and perished rather than surrender to the Witchers. Today, following years of research and preparation, I have at last devised...
So, Professor wasn't out to enhance Witcher mutations, wanted to reverse them.
Observation number 30. The mutations do not set in at once. The subject does not bear this well, but I found a way to make the mutations less taxing, invasive. To the mutagen base, the eggs themselves are a sight to behold.
So, Professor tried to neutralize the... used the albumins of giant centipede eggs as his mutagen bait. Mom's awake and she's not in a good mood.
Not good.
point going in wearing full gear. Gotta drop my armor, leave my weapons. Professor's mutagens might work on me as they did on his son. Well, time to find out. power cell for portals. Feels dead. Maybe a sign will revive it. Die.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here.
Time to end this. What now, you piece of filth?
Kicking littles of pleasure. Decaying bones. Kikimores must have tunneled into the grave. Kikimore eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. just wonderful. Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Detlef wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megoscope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest.
It's Detlef's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. You might call him a humanist.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like...
Precisely. And the reason why
The hand. What do you...
You've heard of Kovinaris.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer but if memory serves, Kovinaris never...
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a...
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth...
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you've...
Anything in particular interest you?
Gotta ask you the big question.
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require night.
But were you dead?
As humans,
Feel anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was...
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference?
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one...
Very true. One's out.
All right, give you one question. What do you want?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer. To find out if I like being a witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. Like picking up a lead, a trail. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even... Yeah, not something I think about much.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty's an...
Still no sign of your winged friend.
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a... Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment.
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for my...
Knew it.
Allow me to finish.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow... It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall it...
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses old...
What's your point? I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are...
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered...
Spoons.
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a...
Let's do this. Start making your...
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative. And to you, my friend.
there, Roach. Hey-ya! Giddy up.
Bandages.
What's that about?
The dressings. Bandages.
Move it!
Guests. Never a good omen. Regis' Raven wasn't lying. Sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table's set. White who lives here is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. Another spoon. Yep, Just as normal as the last one. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. We just need some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Damn it. Gotta catch it. Cook hasn't had time to make the brew. Just foul, muddy water now. Seems I'll have to kill the white in its own junk heap.
run, Roach.
The dressings, bandages. The dressings, bandages. The dressings, bandages. Where did I...
Forget it. Bandages won't do him any good.
What? Oh, but he breathed still a moment ago.
Mm-hmm. Breathed his last then. Bled to...
Gods.
What
I was rolling through, fully loaded, when I heard screams. This one crawled towards the road, then drooped to the ground, lost consciousness. I jumped down to help him. Tresses...
Pretty admirable stopping to help a stranger.
Truthfully, when I saw him, I considered it might be an ambush. The thought entered my mind, I near decided to crack the whip. But to abandon a man in need? It's simply not the decent...
Decent enough in many other places, believe... Before you go on, clean your hands thoroughly and burn your shirt. Might also want to rub some time on your body to be sure. Smell of blood might attract ghouls otherwise.
Who might you be, precisely?
A witcher.
Oh. Do you expect some beast might have killed him?
See what we have here. Legs broken, but cause of death's the wound. Small but deep, edges unfrayed. Either a thrust weapon or a thick claw. Maybe a wide... breastplates...
An antiquity, I believe. I deal in these things, so... what's puzzling is... why did he don it?
Not likely to learn that from him. Now to figure out where he came from. From that house, I'm assuming, but need to investigate. Got some work to do. So long.
Wait, I will come with you.
Gotta be kidding. This isn't a garden romp. Whatever killed him's damn dangerous and...
And it might still prowl the area, so if it's all the same, I prefer to accompany you.
So be it. But stay close, keep it down, and don't touch a thing. Trail leads to the house on the hill.
Which stands silent as a grave.
Must have been here he broke his legs. Fell while climbing over the wall. Trying to leave the property, probably, after he didn't manage to open the gate. Gate's locked from the inside. Clearly been jostled, though. Something tried to get out. Damn it. What the hell's this? Setting for a banquet? Servant, stabbed to death. Over a dozen blows with a sharp object. Some post-mortem.
I cannot believe this is the work of a man. It was a monster, to be sure.
Silver tableware. Elven engravings. scouts massacred. One mighty blow. Shield alongside old and dented. Sword ceremonial. And Shay handiwork clearly. Multiple wounds on the body. All puncture wounds, but hard to tell what caused them. Victim's human, but the attire's elven.
Are you certain? How did he come by it? We've so few non-humans in Tucson.
Fled, then dropped to the ground to douse the flames. Didn't manage. Burnt smells growing fainter. Might have been another luckier soul managed to flee. Doublet scorched. Wriggled out of it, tossed it, then ran on.
Perhaps there's no one inside after...
I know you're in there. Breathing's loud and clear. Open up. We mean you no harm.
They remain there?
Listen, I'm a witcher. I'm here to help you. But if that's gonna happen, you gotta answer some questions first. Who are you exactly?
Durant Faucher Plamondon de Safaran, Lord of these lands, and Chairman of the Society of Friends of the History of Tucson. We meet here annually to mark the anniversary of the Elfin Homage, but something like this, why, it's a first.
You mentioned them. Who do you mean?
Those, I don't know what they were, spirits. It all occurred of a sudden. We were staging a scene, the death of paying homage. There was a flash of light that blinded me completely. I heard cries, though saw nothing. Then felt my own rope. I broke and ran, threw off my doublet, leapt in here, and they pounded on the door. I thought they would get through. I thought I was done for.
So while reenacting a scene from the past, somehow, unintentionally...
What? What now?
Best thing? You gotta do it again, of course.
Are you mad? Would you have this thing kill?
No, don't want it to kill anyone. Precisely why I gotta do my job. Summon it again, whatever it is, and tend to it.
It was a great, momentous event. The surrender of Tucson's last elfin king. You will need at least 3 individuals.
You know what I'm gonna ask for. Need your help. But I'll understand if you turn me down. No objections? Let's get to work. Start by clearing the corpses. Got some time. Won't start the reenactment before night. One last thing, though. My pay. Don't work for free, you know.
Understood. Just keep the danger at bay, and I shall be generous. Through and through. I will stand, or rather, sit in for King Ludovic, upon the elfin throne, while you, Witcher, will play the Enche ruler. We must don the costumes. All must be just right.
Divethef, the elven king, hosted Ludovic in his own palace upon his own throne, amidst the blinding glow of a plethora of torches. Defether laid at Ludovic's feet a loaf of binnen and elfin bread, thus granting humans rule over seat-yielding lands. Defether filled the ornate ceremonial bowls with elfin wine. Long last, the elfin king grasped his sword and shield, thus symbolically passing command of his armies to humans.
Don't interrupt.
Elfin king, erect in his pride, drew his blade and dropped to his knees. Ludovic then spake.
I accept your allegiance and shall return in 1 year's time to...
Ah! Look! Look! The statues!
Impossible! God's mother!
The sculptures, they came alive. By what witchcraft?
Dunno. Specialize in killing monsters. Reviving them, not so much.
I may know what happened. The statues, you see, once stood in the palace of one Defethov. I acquired them a month past because... This Defethov was to pay tribute to humans, producing statues of this sort each year. Yet he did so but once, for he perished. It's fortunate he did too, as Defethov had planned Ludovic's downfall for his sculpture.
Typical. Treachery embodied. Elves. Psheh.
You're no better. Elves were just defending their territory. You humans took it, but you still weren't sated. Had to cut the elves down, every last one.
You? What does that mean? You're a man as we are.
Yeah, in a way. Just ashamed to have to admit it sometimes.
Your words, they're wrong, Witcher. But I'll not let you leave empty-handed. Take this, reward.
Farewell. Slower.
Slow now.
Slow now. Whoa. Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from their hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but, alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and...
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven...
See no reason to dawdle. Tesha Mudna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesh and Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection. Against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once. Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last here.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us of where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet, those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for...
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could...
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick I'd wager it carries clear to no bread.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent. Also, my head started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
You won't be a...
Smell the blood.
I shall overcome.
Good. 'Cause I can hear more coming.
Hold on, I'll let you out.
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother me. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detlef had made friends with him, still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse, cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike...
There was something. Showed up twice in the...
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the port...
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk...
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up.